Hello guys, my name is Amit Kumar Singh and I'm your master teacher at Vedantu, and guys, here we are going to have the discussion of KVPY 2018 Essex Part 1 Mathematics. So I'm just going to pick one of the very beautiful illustration and guys, I'm going to explain the solution. Okay, so let's just have a look. So guys, as you can see on the screen, this question says let f from 0 to 1 to minus 1 to 1, all both ends closed, and g from minus 1 to 0 to 2 closed, be two functions such that g is injective and gof from 0 to 1 to 0 to 2 is surjective, then f must be injective but need not be surjective. Option B is f must be surjective but need not be injective. C is like f must be bijective, and f must be constant function. So guys, in order to deal with this question, I'll say this is purely logical, not at all calculative, purely logical. Just apply your mind and you can easily reach to the conclusion. I'll just talk about a few very good pointers which will help you in concluding for the final options. Okay, so I hope all of you will agree that if I want to define GOF, okay, if I want to define GOF, so what is going to happen, guys? First of all, the input will be taken by f from 0 to 1, and for corresponding to all the inputs from 0 to 1, it will give the values corresponding to the interval from minus 1 to 1. Agreed? So whatever output that you'll be getting from f, that is in the interval of minus 1 to 1, it will go as an input in g, and it is again g will accept the input from minus 1 to 1, which is actually the codomain of f, and it will give an output for 0 to 2. I'm just going to say something, guys. Question says your g is injective, that's the first point, and question says your GOF is actually surjective. Okay, now they want us that can you please tell me the nature of f if I want both of these to be there. So I'll just say one thing, guys, right? If your GOF is surjective and g is injective, you need to understand one thing, that f must be surjective. Fx will have to be surjective. Reason is that if fx is not surjective, what is going to happen? If f is not surjective, it is not going to cover up all the values in its codomain from minus 1 to 1. That means it is going to leave some value from the interval minus 1 to 1. But this interval is also the domain of g. So if you are going to leave some value, if fx is going to leave some value of its codomain, guys, function g will not be able to take all the inputs from its domain, hence g will not be able to be injective, or as such I'll say g will not be even the function also, which is going to compromise the whole of the situation. So yes, if you'll ask me, if you want your GOF to be surjective and g to be injective, it is highly essential that fx must be surjective. Point 1. Now, how about injectiveness about f? Guys, you need to understand it in a very beautiful manner, that if f is injective and g is also injective, then no problem, GOF will have to be surjective. It is perfectly fine. Even if your g is non-injective, then also you can observe that g may still be injective and overall GOF may be surjective. So I am saying that the nature of f with respect to injective or non-injective does not really matter. It may be injective also, then also it is fine. It may be non-injective also, then also it is fine. Okay, and both the cases GOF may be surjective, GOF can be surjective, and g can be injective. So yes, if you'll ask me the best option that I can pick corresponding to the options given in the question, I will say fx must be surjective but need not be injective, which is in option B. I'm sure all of you would have understood this logic in a very beautiful manner, okay, and would have appreciated the logic also, right? So see you all in the next question and stay tuned, okay? We'll see you all again. Thank you. Thanks everyone. Thanks.